everybody? Dustin Dale's back here at the Funny Bone Comedy Club, 168th and Dodge, and tonight it is Laughs for Life 2017, and what they do here at the Funny Bone is something kind of cool. They have door prizes, they've got drawings, they've got a silent auction, all sorts of great stuff that they've kind of been collecting throughout the year. Some great stuff from comedians, all kinds of great stuff. I mean, you really don't want to miss this event. And to top that off, they brought in James Johann a day early. They said, James, you want to come in a day early and help us out with this thing? And he said, absolutely. So he's here tonight. So please welcome James Johann back to Omaha.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me back on the show here. This is awesome. We're live on like 3 different channels here.
3 different channels. There's also a webcam up there.
Yeah, I know. I feel like big brothers in the room. So
that's right.
But no, this is a great thing tonight. It's a benefit for cancer, and that's a very personal issue to me. You know, I lost my mom to cancer when I was 19, so I always like to participate in anything like this that helps. And she does have some great stuff out there. There's some memorabilia. I was just looking around. I've been here 5 minutes, and there's just a ton of cool stuff. So, and then tonight we got great comedy. I think Richard Reese is going to be here. Some local Omaha comics. So I'm just happy to be part of the show. So it's cool.
Yeah, you mentioned Omaha comics. I know a lot of comics around here. You know, they come through the Funny Bone once or twice. But Richard Reese, he's become a staple in this club. Have you had the chance to work with him before?
I've worked with Richard many times. He's a great guy. A lot of guys up here. Austin Anderson, you know, Nick Allen, a lot of guys. They just have a really good scene here. And that's one of the things that makes cities good comedy scene is people coming out and supporting the clubs and knowing their local comics and stuff like that. So Omaha's always got... I mean, even if you've never heard of some of these people, they're good comics, you know. So you can trust the Funny Bone to bring in good quality acts, even if, you know, you maybe never heard of them. So... that's kind of cool. And like me, right? Like, you never heard of me. I'm going to be funny. I hope.
Now, it's funny because when I first started coming here years and years ago, I didn't realize that some of these names were just local guys. So I would see them and I'd be like, yeah, that guy's pretty damn funny.
Yeah.
And I'd come to find out that guy lives, like, you know, down the street.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. There's a lot of talent here.
Everybody starts out at some level, you know. So some of these guys and women that you know now that are super big names, you know, they started on open mic night and look where they went, you know. So we had a good time this week. We got a full menu down here. Look at that.
Full
I don't
menu.
know what's happening. Your battery's going low over there.
Battery's going low. That's all right.
We got a strip steak.
Strip steak.
It's kind of what I had last night. Different kind of venue though. It was strange.
Different kind of venue.
Different kind of place.
You mentioned that growing up, you grew up in Kansas City.
I did.
What was that like growing up in Kansas City, doing the comedy scene down there?
We had a pretty good scene too. A lot of funny guys came out of there. Chris Porter. You know, we've had a lot of people go on out to L.A. Susanna Lee. These people that go out there and they make names for themselves out there. But it's just the Midwest has really good comedy scene for the most part. You know, I would say as far over as Indianapolis and Ohio. You know, out to Denver. You know, this is the area I know. I don't know about the coast too much, but a lot of funny people here in the Midwest. So. And it was cool because it's kind of a small town thing. I'm from a real small town, so I would do my shows at the local club, and like half the room is my town, you know. So I'm like, well, I can't bomb too bad. They all know me. They all like me. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, you actually got attached early on in your career with a fairly decent name around these parts.
What was his name?
It's like Gary, the electrician guy or something like that.
Electrician guy.
Something like that. Oh, that's right. It was Larry.
Yes, Larry the Cable Guy.
You've had a chance to work with him a lot. Huh?
I toured with Larry and Jeff Foxworthy for a couple years, pretty much each. Ron White a little bit, all the blue collar guys. And to be honest, if I have to tell the story, it was the Funny Bone here in Omaha that kind of hooked me up. Colleen, who runs the club, kept booking me in front of Larry the Cable Guy. And I didn't really know who he was, you know, he was just another headliner I worked with. But I'm like, why does she keep booking me with this redneck dude? I'm like, can I work with somebody? And I was too dumb to see that she was trying to put me in front of him. And one night Larry came up and goes, man, you do a good job. I want you on the tour bus and we're going to go do some, you know, big theaters and stuff. So it was great, but I love Larry, and I don't regret any of the time I spent with him. It was a wild, crazy ride with Larry on the bus. It was crazy. It was cool, though.
Did you ever arm wrestle Larry the Cable?
No way. That guy ate cheese curds from the time he got up to the time he went to bed. He was just strong as a moose, you know. But no, we did have some great shows, though, and I learned a lot from working with him, and especially Jeff Foxworthy. You know, Jeff taught me a lot of things I needed to know back then. So very cool.
I feel like Jeff Foxworthy kind of is kind of like the Yoda of redneck comics. You kind of get that vibe?
Well, yeah, and he was another one. When I was growing up, you know, I'd see him. I knew who he was. You know, I wasn't a huge fan or anything, but I'd see they had little calendars and stuff at the store. They had little redneck jokes on them, so I was like aware of him. I never thought I'd wind up opening for him. And the same with Larry, you know, once he got big. And the funny thing about Larry is I read in a magazine that he made blah, blah, blah million one year. And we went to his house one day, and he gave me a cold turkey sandwich on a paper plate. I was like, dude, I know you got millions of dollars. What is this cheese sandwich on a paper plate. He's like, that's how I'm going to keep my money. But it was a great time touring with those guys. And now I'm just kind of doing my own thing. I have a new thing coming up with my buddy Doug Thompson. He's out of Cedar Rapids. And we're kind of doing a comedy music kind of thing called Ronnie and Donnie, Country Cousins. And we're trying to get that up off the ground. We got some big shows coming up this summer. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is some stuff like that. We're doing the big country fest up in Sioux City this summer coming up, so that'll be cool.
How long have you kind of been working on something like that?
This is a new thing for me. I've never done, as a stand-up, I've always worked alone, you write your jokes, you go tell your jokes, you take your check, you're done, I've never had to incorporate another guy, and it's really hard, because like you look at old Abbott and Costello, or those guys, and you go, okay, that's kind of funny, because it's kind of old, who's on first and all that. But it's hard to write, and it's hard to get that timing down between two people. So that's been the most challenging part of it, really. But I enjoy it. I'm getting better at it every day, I think. So we got some funny stuff so far. So
I've always had a soft spot for duo comedians that kind of get up there and do an act together. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys can do together.
Well, not a lot of people are doing it. So that's another reason I want to try it. I'm like, we had the Untamed Shrews. You remember them? They did it for years, and they were great. And I just want to give it a shot, and see if people enjoy it. And I like playing music, so we do little comedy songs and tell some jokes, and it's going to be a fun show. So.
Along with being a comedian, you're also a dad.
I am.
How is that?
Oh, man, she's growing up so fast. It's great, though. My daughter, she's the best thing I've ever done in 2 minutes. And she's great, man. She's a good kid. And that's my main thing. The hardest part of being a comic is being away from her when I'm on the road and stuff. So I have to really keep my schedule, mapped out so I can get home and still be a big chunk of her life, So she called me right before the show, and she's like, "Have good shows tonight, Dad. I love you, and I miss you." She's like, "Guess where I'm at?" I'm like, "Where are you at?" She's like, "I'm under the kitchen table." I'm like, I wake up there all the time. Who cares?
What kind of lessons does she teach you as not only a father, but also as a comic? What kind of lessons?
Well, it's funny. She does teach me stuff. She teaches me patience, because with these kids, you have to kind of watch them going through the motions of things and learning things, and they think everything's new, they're trying to show you things that you learned, 30 years ago. But the patience and just another thing about kids at a certain age is just the imagination they have. It's crazy. Like, she'll put things together, I'm like, can I have that for my act? Because that's hilarious. And she doesn't even know she's being funny. It's just the way their minds work. They piece things together that don't really fit. So it's funny, so yeah, she's been the inspiration for more than a few jokes, trust me. Maybe
you should think about doing a show with her.
Maybe I should, I don't know how I can travel with her too much and still hit the, players club at night. I don't think they'll let her in, but...
You always need a chauffeur?
I know, she can sit in the car. She can read. She can read Harry Potter or something.
She'd be your permanent Uber driver or something.
It would be a cute show, but I don't know if her mom would go for that. I'm taking the kid on the road. We're going to go play some clubs.
Now, this weekend, along with you being here, there's also a lot of other folk in town. There's a Berkshire Hathaway event going on this weekend, which is basically some of the richest people around the country and around the world are coming in town. You guys should definitely come check out the Funny Bone as well, because James Johann, he's got some jokes that are just going to make your weekend. I'm telling you that. Oh, have you ever if you ever wanted to open a store, maybe run a business? What kind of business would you run?
If I could move to Colorado, I would open a business. I think I would. I would open a, because it's legal to do that out there. And I already have the name of my, it would be James Johannibus. Would be what it would be. I would make $1 million. But no, I've never really wanted to. That's too much responsibility for me, But as far as this weekend, and I didn't know they were rich people. Now I got jokes for that. Now I got jokes. But tomorrow night, when the regular shows start, my friend Lang Parker is coming in from Los Angeles, and she's hilarious, and she's going to be opening up. And by the time she's done, these people will already have their money's worth. So the pressure's off me this week, because she's hilarious. We're going to have a funny opener, and then you get me. So it's a great night.
Perfect. Well, make sure you come check him out. He's here all weekend long, all the way through Sunday, and make sure they come out tonight. Get here as soon as you can, because there's all sorts of door prizes, great, everything you could want in a charity event. It's Relay for Life. That's the cause, and the event itself is called Laughs for Life 2017. Make sure you come check it out. Every year, the Funny Bone collects the best that they can throughout the year, and they sell it, they give some prizes away to people, all sorts of great stuff, all for a great cause. It's dear to you, it's near and dear to me, near and dear to James here, and he'll be here tonight headlining for that. James, thanks for hanging out with me, man.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Take care, guys.